Good morning, everybody. It is 8:11 a.m. and it is June 20th. Welcome to my channel. All right. So, what do we have on happened the other day? We had Juneteenth off yesterday. We had another little support. Bulls coming in. Bears can't get any holding at all, and we've closed at the highs. And this morning we're gapping up. So, Nvidia is the most valuable company in the world now. All right, so crazy. It is up 3.25% pre-market. That is nuts. This run is pretty serious. I mean, after the split, didn't even pull back really. It's on fire. So crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. So today, Thursday, we have jobless claims at 8:30. All right. Tomorrow, keep in mind, it's quad witching. Okay, quad witching. All right. So you have options monthly expiries. You have index options expiries. You have futures options expiries, and you have now futures options expiries, and you have futures itself rolling over. So that's quad witching. All right. So the price action could be a little wonky. All right. And usually after OPEX happens, a change in the market happens because all that money goes away. Okay. So come Monday, there could be change in the markets. All right. So without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the market along with gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day, all to help me find structure in the market. All right, it gives me my base foundation to make plans. All right, so every day I do this at 8:10 a.m. We go over leaders and laggards, what's moving the markets. We go over news, economic calendar. We go over the daily charts. And then we get into 8:30. We go into the market profile, volume profile. And I do live my analysis of what I believe long or short setups could be. Okay, so every day this happens. All right, so if you could subscribe and set an alert if you can. All right, I'd be much appreciated. All right, of course, show me love. All right, give me a thumbs up or a like if you enjoy my content. All right, you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. Okay, so why don't we get right into the futures watch list here? Boom, here we are. All right, let's see who's leading the pack here. All right, Ether. Ether is up 5.37%. Okay, Bitcoin up 2.84. Silver's up 2.46. The VIX, interesting. The VIX is up now 0.88. Nasdaq's up 0.45. ES up 0.30. Dollar is up 0.21. Gold up 0.21. Russell up 0.10. Crude is pretty much flat. The Dow is flat. 10-year yield doesn't report until 8:20. We'll get back to that. 30-year bonds being sold, so that should raise the 10-year yield a little bit. All right, moving on. Max 7 Plus. Who's leading the pack? No surprise. You got Nvidia. Nvidia's up 3.33%. Coinbase getting level. Bitcoin's up 2.39%. BABA is up 1.06. AMD up 0.82. Meta's up 0.70. Is there a laggard? Apple down 0.30. And Boeing down 0.51. Moving on to top sector stocks. All right, let's see who's moving here. Salesforce up 0.22, Chevron up 0.18, Qualcomm up 0.18, Costco up 0.15. Not big leaders here. Do we have big laggards? Not really. PepsiCo down 0.01, Johnson & Johnson barely down. That just moved up. Disney is really the laggard, down 0.10. All right, moving up to my swing trades list. Accenture up 8.01%. Supermicro Computers up 4.85. Dell's up 3.67. Riot up 3.56. That's Bitcoin Love. That's SoundHound. You got Bitcoin ETF up 2 point. Micron, Mara. This is all Bitcoin related. MicroStrategy, Bitcoin related. Palantir, Affirm. All right. Taiwan Semiconductors all up. Is there laggards? Donald Trump Stock is down 11.95%. Enphase got a downgrade. They are down 5.47%. GameStop down 2.323%. That is what's going on in those markets. All right, let's move on to sectors. Sectors, who your leader? Semis. Semis means risk on for the markets. Okay, semis are flying high. It's risk on. So up 1.32%. Obviously, Nvidia. Right. Technology encompasses semis. All right. So that's up 0.59. Utilities, interesting, is up with that. Right. Energy, and there's not a lagging sector. There's not a lagging sector, folks. Okay. All right. I think we can move on to our economic calendar and some news here. Let's do it. What do we got? Why does that not look right? Why does that not look right? Give me 1 second here. I don't know why. There we go. Alrighty. So what do we got today? 8:30. We got jobless claims, and we got Philly Fed. All right. That's really all that's happening. Fed Barkin speaking at 4 p.m. Jobless claims are every week, so we'll see. We're expecting 235, so we'll see. We'll see what happens at 8:30. That is your economic calendar. Let's get into some news. All right. Boom. Here we go. Here's why things are moving. Accenture forecasts 2024 revenue growth above estimates on AI demand. All right. What else here? Honeywell, Lilly. Nope, nope, nope. Just trying to see. Okay, so AMD. Let's see here what they're saying. Company on Tuesday. It was looking into claims that the company's data was stolen in a hack by a cyber criminal organization. Jesus. All right. Apple. All right, here's why Apple might have some weakness. Although Apple is discontinuing its buy now pay later service launched last year, the company is sticking with the product, with the successor to the offering launching later this year via third parties like Affirm. Okay. Let's see. Boeing, relative to the victims' two fatal Boeing 737 MAX crashes, asked the Justice Department on Wednesday to seek a fine against the plane maker up to $24.78 billion. That is why Boeing is down. All right, there's always a reason, folks. Always a reason. All right, see some analyst recommendations here. We got Tesla cut price target, 227 from 293. Lennar got their price targets cut. That's all I really want to talk about there. Let's move on. All right, big story. Nvidia is the most valuable company in the world. All right, Donald Trump stock fell 11%. The SEC allowed investors in the firm's derivatives known as warrants to swap their holdings for shares. All right. All right. Here's Dell's news. Stock climbed 3.2 and Supermicro Computer rose 4.6 after Elon Musk said on social media platform X that these companies would provide server racks for the supercomputer that his startup AI is building. There you go. That's why those are moving. Okay. I think, and now let's go into some upgrades or downgrades. Let's see what we got. So we have anything to note here. Skyworks got an upgrade. TransUnion got an upgrade. All right, who's downgrades? Downgrades. Nothing really to speak of there. Let's see. Initiate coverage. Nothing to speak of there. Let's go with raises targets. Crocs. Meta got a raise target from to 540. Taiwan Semiconductor to 200. We got lowers target. There's the end phase. All right. From 128 to 124, from overweight, still overweight. That's really it. That's really it. I think we can get into daily charts now. Let's move over to the daily charts. All right. All right, let's look at SPY. So SPY Made it new all-time highs. Barely, but it did it. 548.62, right? So look, we did consolidate, broke out, and then we're holding higher prices. That's bullish. Right now, 550.16. 550.16 is a gap up. Okay, so we're gapping up. All right, let's look at the futures contract. See where we're at here. There you go. Pushing up. Got a little wick, selling wick here. We'll see what happens with that. Let's move on to the Qs. Qs, you do have this channel here, right here, boop, 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 that it's hitting its head against. I'm not saying that's right now. It is acting a little bit of resistance. We'll see, but we're gapping up. So let's see, 487.42, 47.42, 487.42, gapping up. So let's look at the futures. There's your wick. Got a nice little selling wick here. Now that's all-time highs in the overnight. Usually is not secure. Okay, a little tip there. Usually these all-time highs are always made in real-time trading hours. So have to see what is going on there. Okay, now 10-year yield has reported, and like I said, 10-year yield, let's go back to it. 10-year yield is up 0.59%. Interesting, right? I figured that would happen. So let's get back to the triple head monster I always talk about, and we go to the 10-year yield. All right, so we have here, the big run down on yields. Yields ran up, and then the yields are in this little downtrend here. So we're at this kind of level here, right here, figuring out what we want to do here. Right? Does it go back up, hit this trend line, go back down, make another lower high? We'll have to see. Okay, but this is the smart money. So, but just remember, when yields come down, it makes the market easier for the market to go up. Okay, and this is our triple-headed monster, I like to call it. All right, let's look at our dollar. That dollar was in that range, and it broke out of that range. There's that range I was talking about. Boom, and we broke out. But then look at these wicks, right? Look at these wicks. So we're out of that range, but you need to see if it can push up to here, right? 105.88. Now, same thing. Dollar strength, not good for equities, not good for commodities. So the dollar and the yield were together, but they kind of disconnected a little bit. That mainly induced because the euro and the yen had weakness. That's what really drives the dollar. Okay, when the euro and the yen are weak, that's going to push the dollar up. All right, and now look at that VIX. That VIX is just showing no fear. No fear. Okay, when you're down here, that's complacency. That is no fear. This is 30, just to let you know, VIX is 30 days out of fear. 30 days out. Is anybody hedging? No. Okay, no. Okay, so why don't we get into structure, market profile? We'll go over, like I said, I do this real time with you guys. So give me a sec here while I pull that up for you guys. Boom. All right, let's look at this together. All right, now what I did is there was multiple sessions that happened, okay, overnight on Tuesday. Then you had like a session, little session yesterday, and then you have the overnight from 6 p.m. yesterday evening to now. I just merged them into one profile right here. So I merged them. So if I just easier for me to read it, easier for me to do something with it. All right, and look at the market. Okay, so this is what it's all about here. Market profile and volume profile together with my levels, right? Supply and demand and the most traded prices of the week, the month, and the previous day. Okay, so why don't we talk about our structure? Let's look at it. Now again, we had a day that's a weird day yesterday in the middle of the week. All right, so this is the rolling profile, right? Composite profile. So you got this here. That's that little breakout, and then you got value here. Okay, that's what we're looking at right now. Now, this gap up here. So values here. The most traded price of the last week is 5,554. Okay, that's the most traded price. Also happened to be Tuesday's most traded price. Okay, so that's how I look at the market. Okay, the market's doing its job. Guess what it's doing? Value is here. After the move up, that's bullish. It's nothing but bullish. Okay, now of course price is right here, 55.78 right now. Okay, so we're gapping up. Okay, here's Friday's highs. Okay, Friday's lows. Here's the overnight low. Here's the overnight high. Okay, so we got a gap. Okay, now interesting, you got this single prints here in the overnight session. Look at this thin volume. So can the market use that as support here, or does this weak foundation get broken back? Okay. Now, real quickly, I want to point something out. Now, I did do a short. You can check it out on my channel about my trade I took on the QQQ. All right, but this is the SPY. But I just want to make sure everyone understands this. Look at the session, overnight session here. You had that big move up, right? And then this, look what happened here. You didn't even touch the overnight low, and you didn't even touch these single pins below, because this is poor structure below it. And I said it. If the market doesn't hit those, that's bullish, and that's what happened. I mean, I went long on the Qs, but that's what happened. The market is just, momentum is a thing. Okay, you don't fight it. You don't fight it. Now, what's important here? There was this weak high here, 55.61, right? In the where we settled on Friday. Now, that's what just broke out here. So that's been broken. That's why price is up here, right? All right. So let's talk about gap rules. Okay, whenever you have these gaps. So in futures, gap isn't the close. Actually, close is here. So, but gaps are really highs and lows and where you're at. So there's the gap fill. Okay, so how do you play this? All right, how do you play gaps? Well, what can happen when the market opens? You gap and go, right? That's the most bullish. That's the most bullish. Second most bullish would be failure to fill the gap and you move up. Buyers in control, right? Third most bullish is to fill the gap and then you bounce. That all shows buyers are in control. Okay. Now, if you fill the gap and start going back into Friday, going back into Tuesday's range, getting thrown off because of this day in the middle, that is buyers aren't strong, right? That's how you gauge it. Buyers are just not as strong. You're going back into range. Okay. So that's how we look at the gap. All right. Now, as far as levels to look at, there's definitely a pretty big level to look at here. Okay. So we're gonna get into scenarios now. Now remember, I do this live. I don't analyze this before, and I don't need to. I don't need to do that. Maybe there was a time where I did need to do that. I don't need to do that. So we're gonna talk about scenarios here. Now, bulls are in control. All right, bulls are in control. Got a little demand here. I'm not too confident about that sticking. Okay, got demand here. Now, this is the one important level here. Okay, 55.61. I want to show you this level. This was the breakout point of this overnight session. Happens to be the overnight low and happens to be this demand right here. Bulls need to defend this. Happens to also be gap fill. Very important level. 55.62. A lot of confluence there. Okay, so Remember what I said, overnight all-time highs are usually not secure. So this all-time high usually doesn't get put in an overnight session. Usually real-time trading hours always makes an all-time high. And 97% of all overnight highs and lows get touched in the real-time trading hours, okay? So a viable thing that could happen here is we can open up, we push up, make those all-time highs, right? And we could possibly go. But this is about trade scenarios, so I'm not trading that. I'm not going to do anything with that. Now, you could pull back to this demand zone right here, and you could take off. I'm not as interested in that scenario. Okay, I mean, you have to really see how the market opens up. However, what I believe could happen is push all-time highs, come down, even clean these little single prints here. Now you get the test into this demand and into this big level. Okay, it's the close, it's the overnight low, it's the breakout level, it's demand. Okay, see what the market does here. You get higher lows, higher lows. Well, then you could go right up and start pushing up higher. Okay. Now, if the market does happen to break through this, now look at this overnight. Most traded price of the overnight is also here. So if you break that, now you got to deal with this level. Okay, and I would say this area here is the last line for the bulls to defend. Most traded price of the week, most traded price of Friday, right here. All right, let's clean this up. Okay, so we talked about this level. Now, it's about this level. This is the line in the sand. Okay, most traded price of Friday, most traded price of the week, and demand here. You got this week low here, 55, say 55.41. It's a previous overnight low. It's a previous Tuesday's lows. Okay, I want to see if the bulls defend this. Okay, so if price comes down here, somehow we make it down here, what do we do when we come here? Also got week to date VWAPs right here. Okay, so what do we do? For me, you got to get over this level, hold, and then you can move higher. Okay, because you got single prints below us. That's poor structure. Okay, they haven't even been tested yet. Now, don't get me wrong. If you do one of these, boop, that's still bullish. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Now, this move's running out of steam. Okay, and you're going to see, I'm going to show you guys another chart. Okay, but it is running out of steam. Now, let's go over the bear scenario. Okay, I just said all-time highs are not secure and overnight. They're not. Okay, so if I'm a bear, I'm going to look at that. So in my scenario here, I would want to see somehow we push up, make all-time highs, come through the open, lower high, lower high. This is susceptible to get broken right here, that weak volume, right? So you could clean this weak volume, boom, come right to the level I talked about that the bulls got to defend. Right here. There's the gap fill. You probably get a little push, but if you break this demand, okay, you're going to probably test this area here. Okay, remember this is a bear scenario. So if you come down here and break this demand zone and this market's weak, you might get a little bounce in here. But if you come down here and depending on how the internals look when the market opens, if it's as weak, you are going to crush the single prints here, and you're probably going to keep crushing those single prints until you get to this demand. If that demand gets taken out, you're crushing these single prints, and you're going to probably go back to the base of this big move. Okay, this is all poor structure. Look at the volume, it's thin. Now, if any of these single prints are supportive, that's bullish. But this is the bearish scenario, okay? That's what I'm seeing. Now, what I'm saying here is you could get, think about what I said here. The short from up here pays nicely if you get profit here. This is just what could happen. I don't know if it happens. I'm not predicting it. It's just a scenario, okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys something in a little bit of why the steam's running out. All right, now let's look at the NASDAQ. look at the Qs. The NASDAQ here, futures. All right, let's look at those together. Okay. Now, very notable here. All right. There was demand up here that got broken. Okay. Now the single prints are getting cleaned in the NASDAQ right now. Starting to pull back. Okay. Let's look at structure together. Here's the profile for the last week. There's that thin volume with all the single prints here. That's weak structure. And then you got value. Right? Now look. Price is here. It's below the 50% retracement of this overnight right here. Okay? Where is it also at? See these levels right here? That's a weak high. 20,270 right here. That level. Notice where price is. Okay? That's kind of like a breakout level of those two highs that broke out. Okay? Now, what else do we have here? Now, just want to go. So the most traded price of the week is still down here in the real-time trading hours. However, it did move up here in the 24-hour chart. Okay? And just if you're new watching today, I want to show something here. These market profiles are just 30-minute bars put together. That's all it is. I know it looks like crazy, but it's really not. Okay? It's really not. So every black is a real-time trader. Every like light shaded black, this kind of grayish, is overnight. So that's how it's separated. All right? So this is all overnight activity. This is the real-time trading hours from Tuesday. That's all it is. Okay? I could show you. I could break out. Let's see this session here. Just show you. All it is 30-minute bars. See? It's just 30-minute bars put together. That's all it is. And each bar is 30 minutes. All right. Let's look at these levels together. Okay, so I told you about the 2271 here. That's the breakout level. It's right there. Okay, we're gapping up. So here's Tuesday's highs, Tuesday's lows. Okay, so we're gapping up as well. Most traded price of the overnight. Right here, basically, the highs of Tuesday. Okay. What else do we see? Okay, now the trade I took, what I was talking about here, here was the single prints from the big move day. Look where Tuesday came in and could not clean all of those single prints and then got big buying excess, and that was why I went long. Okay, so it's still very weak structure underneath here. Right now the market's saying we accept these higher prices, so it's bullish. Okay, so same thing here. Here's the gap fill. I already talked about all the scenarios for the gap. I'm not going to go over that again. Gap and go, failure to fill the gap, and a gap fill, all bullish. If you start going back into range, not bullish. That's it. Okay, what do we have here? We have inventory here. Here's the opening. I probably didn't talk about that in the ES. I should have, but I always look at this. Check this out. That's the only short activity to all this long activity. You got almost 100% net long in the overnight. Now we're at the midpoint of the range, so some of this froth has came off already. This is important. Okay. Also, this level, similar to the ES. All right, the 202.01 is the overnight low. It's the close basically on Tuesday. You got most traded price of Tuesday, and in the 24-hour you got the most traded price of the week. So that's ugly. So let's say this area, bulls have to defend this area. It's a weak low here. A lot of confluence. See all the volume? Look at all that volume. Okay, that's why I'm pointing it out. Bulls got to defend that. They have to. Okay, so we can get right into this. That's the weak low. Then you also have these singles. Now I kept these on here, and I'm going to show you what I do with the single prints. I only signify single prints so I know where they are with these boxes. So what do? Look, I take this down right here. So now that's only the single prints left there. So now those were cleaned. Now you have these these, and these still. Bunch of them still. Okay? So you can see Nasdaq's pulling back. All right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the scenarios. All right. So, bull. I said we have to defend this area. Right here. About to come in here. Okay, so very simple. Very simple. Basically, I'm not a gap and go guy. If we move up, let's see, maybe, like I said, this is so far away, so it's a little different. So we could pull back right into this area. Gap fill, you could definitely move. Make new highs, make those real-time trading hours all-time highs, come down here, test the most traded price of the week and on Tuesday, and then you can bounce as well. So it's a little different here. I had a couple levels in the ES, right? Well, this is really the last line, right? Tuesday's lows. And you got the weekly day VWAP here. And the single prints. That's the last line of defense for the bulls. So you could come down here, be a little bear trap, maybe clean them singles, but then maybe you get support, and that is where you can possibly go up higher. Okay? Remember, singles become support. That's bullish, but they shouldn't be support. Okay? If the market's weak, you're going to rip down from all these levels. Okay? Now, bearish. Bear scenarios. Okay? All I'm going to look at, okay, is if we can push up and maybe even make all-time highs. But then you come through the open, you go lower high, lower high. Now you got liquidity here that you could rip down. And I would think you come through this overnight most traded price, you're going to hit this level I said that the bulls need to defend. Now, remember, this is a bearish scenario. If we break that and hold, find acceptance, and the market is weak internally, you're going to rip through these single prints like they're nothing, like a hot knife through butter. Okay? And probably dip into this demand here. Maybe get a bounce. We'll see. Could go all the way down to the most traded price of the week. Now, like I said, any of these could bounce. I'm just saying that ultimately a weak market cleans single prints. It cleans poor structure. Okay? Strong market, like here, doesn't, and it's bullish. Very important to say that. Okay? That is my scenarios. Okay? Alright, now what I wanted to show you guys before I leave, because I had to take my daughter to the bus. Alright? This is what I'm going to talk about the volume profile in a composite way. Okay? Really quickly. This heat map is from a year ago. The white is from this year. Okay? But it doesn't matter. I want to show you guys something. This means participation is running out. This is called, from Josh Schuler and Trader Profile, the slope of hope. So this is the ES. This is the most traded price of this year. Look at the volume. Tapering, 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 tapering. Okay? Starting to run out of steam. Okay? This does not mean short the hell out of it. I'm just showing you that this is starting to build out a complete profile for the year. Okay? Now, let's look at the NASDAQ. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ, if you're new to my channel, this is the most traded price of the last year and of this year. Big volume. Look how big that volume. Now look at the slope of hope. Okay? Got singles here. You got weak volume here. When this happens, the move's usually over. Now we have an election coming, and that brings uncertainty. Okay, uncertainty. Nobody knows who's going to be the president. I'm expecting some type of pullback. I don't know how big. Okay, which is very important, and that's why you look at volume profile. Okay, see the tapering of the profile. A bell curve always signifies an end of a move when you get excess at the top. It's just how a bell curve works, like everything in life. Okay, so that's it for me today. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, set alert, make a comment, give me a question if you have any questions. I know market profile and volume profile aren't easy sometimes on the eyes. For me now, they are easier on my eyes, but that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Give me a like. All right. I'm going to try to make more videos, informative videos. All right. I'm going to try to really start pushing the content. All right. Thank you for coming to my channel today. Hopefully anybody who was new was here. Hopefully they did. But if you catch the recording, you catch the recording. I do this every day at 8:10 a.m. All right. If I don't hear from you the rest of the day, have a great day. Stay green, stay patient, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.